Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Phil. Welcome to another video. Today we're gonna attempt to get a PCI sound card working in DOS. It is the AudioPCI, and that's a really interesting card with lots of history. We're using an unknown socket 754 motherboard with an SIS 760 chipset, Sempron 2800 plus, 512 megabyte of RAM, and an ATI Radeon 9550 running Windows 98 SE. The AudioPCI was made by Ensoniq. Now, Ensoniq used to make really high-end sound cards, but with the AudioPCI they went the opposite way. Highly integrated, very cheap, and it uses the RAM to load sound fonts, or they're actually called Ensoniq Concert Wave Sets. And they come in 2 megabytes, 4 megabytes, and 8 megabytes flavor, just giving you slightly better audio quality with the larger files. One of the highlights of the Ensoniq AudioPCI is the DOS compatibility for PCI card. It was fairly decent. Now, it is compatible with previous Ensoniq cards, so in a lot of games you actually have an option to choose the Ensoniq and it will work, but it's also compatible with Sound Blaster Pro and the general MIDI standard. There's one big weakness: it doesn't have an FM chip, so it uses the general MIDI to simulate FM sounds, which sounds horrible, to be honest. Also, it needs EMS memory in order to work, so that makes it incompatible with quite a few games. At some stage, Creative bought Ensoniq and basically rebranded this card, and it goes under various names such as Sound Blaster, PCI 128 and others, but they're very easy to spot. They have a very unique look. Now, getting the card working under Windows is straightforward. You can still go to the Creative website and download the latest web installer, and you just double click the executable and off you go. Creative also changed the drivers a little bit. We can still use the older Ensoniq drivers and get compatibility under DOS with Ensoniq, Sound Blaster Pro and General MIDI. However, if you use the Creative drivers, we're getting Sound Blaster 16 support as well as General MIDI. Now, I used the AudioPCI before and my experiences have always been very positive. It is one cheap card. You should be able to find this card for around $10 without trying too hard. Maybe the SIS chipset, it's the SIS 760 chipset, maybe that is the reason why I'm having some issues, but I'll tell you what happened. I had a go at trying Doom, and I know that game worked fine, but it kept causing really weird issues and sometimes even locking up the machine. Same issues with Duke Nukem 3D. In both games the general MIDI music would work, but I had issues with the sound effects. However, other games work just fine. For example, Screamer Rally, that also worked fine, and we can hear in that recording that the audio CD also gets routed through. There's a configuration file that you can edit, and it gives you a basic mixer options for changing the volume balance and stuff like that. Descent also worked fine, however it runs way too fast on this machine. So I tried an older game and Gods actually worked. This is an interesting game because it uses sound effects and music for the intro song, and it does work. We can hear the horrible FM sound kicking in. However, it works, so some sound is better than no sound. So all in all, I did have some issues, but I can still recommend checking out this card, especially if you're getting it for a cheap price. And maybe some of the issues have to do with the SIS chipset. I have used this card with the Intel chipset boards before and had less issues, so maybe that's one of the reasons. The other point I'd like to make is that a lot of people focus too much on what doesn't work. I see it all the time in forums, someone dismissing a video card because one old game has some weird graphics issues, but they should really be focusing on what actually works. And once you do that, you realize that a ton of games will actually work, and having sound in games is better than having no sound at all. So that's the bottom line. And prices are getting a bit higher with some of these parts, so if you can get a cheap card and you get working DOS sound in some of the games, hey, that's a huge bonus. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, click on that notification bell, share the video, like or dislike it, and leave me a comment down below. What are your experiences with using PCI sound cards for DOS? That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video.